Welcome, gamers and enthusiasts alike. If you're tired of playing the same old games and want to discover some exciting titles that have flown under the radar, then this video is just for you. Like most people, I'm a casual gamer myself and by no means a game expert, so take these suggestions with a grain of salt. These underrated hidden gems are far from perfect, not as popular, and are often overshadowed by the big titles. However, we believe they hold incredible potential and deserve more love and attention from the gaming community. So, let's shine a spotlight on these underrated treasures that are waiting to be discovered. Join us as we dive deep into each game, showcasing their unique features and explaining why they're worth your time. Number 7. Timberborn. If you've been living under a rock or somehow missed the wild hype in 2021, let me tell you about the phenomenon called Timberborn. This game has taken the gaming world by storm, and it's no surprise why. Even during its early access phase, Timberborn has been flooded with overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. Sure, it falls under the colony and resource management genre, a pretty established category. But here's the kicker, its charm lies in the theme. Brace yourself, my friend, because in Timberborn, you get to control and manage an entire civilization of beavers. I mean, seriously. Who came up with this brilliant idea? Kudos to the creative minds behind it. The game's ultimate goal is to build a thriving beaver community that can weather even the harshest droughts. So, what's the beaver plan for that? Building dams, securing sustainable water and food sources, and keeping those furry little critters happy with wet fur. You gotta admit, it's adorable and genius at the same time. But here's the best part. Timberborn lets you kick back, relax, and play God over a bustling colony fully inhabited by beavers. It's an absolute must-try for anyone looking for a delightful mix of cuteness and strategy. So grab your virtual hard hat, unleash your inner beaver engineer, and get ready to dive into this beaverific adventure. Trust me, you won't be able to resist the charm of these industrious little fellas.
We are all born gifted, for we are Timberborn.
Number 6. Northgard. Northgard is a Viking-themed real-time strategy game released in 2017-ish. It is inspired by Norse mythology and revolves around the exploration, settlement, and survival of a group of Vikings in a newly discovered land known as Northgard. Players take on the role of a clan leader and must manage resources, expand their territory, and defend against various threats while striving to become the ultimate survivor. Each player manages a clan, and there's a lot to choose from. Not as many as Age of Empire Mini, but a good amount where you'll sink hours to fully explore or maybe master. The gameplay is your typical RTS with colony and resource management elements. There's a climate system where everyone prepares for winter. Their food and wood consumption skyrockets. This is the choke point of the game and you can use this to your advantage, otherwise, your clan may get wiped out if you weren't prepared. Another interesting aspect of this game is that the victory condition is not all about wiping the enemy clans. Sure, that is one and probably the simplest way to win, but that doesn't mean it is the easiest, especially since this game can have up to 8 players in a single map. In addition to the standard victory conditions, Northgard offers a couple of other exciting ways to secure your triumph. One option is through fame, where you'll need to tackle map objectives and prove your prowess. Take on the challenge of facing the map's formidable boss, or show your strategic finesse by expanding your territory and conquering your opponent's locations. Lore is another win condition where a loremaster or similar unit from your clan accumulates lore. Unlock different favors from your gods which are all beneficial to your clan in multiple ways. With multiple paths to victory, Northgard keeps the gameplay fresh and engaging, allowing you to choose your own path to victory. You can choose your desired victory condition based on your preferred playstyle. Each clan also has their hero and other unique units and mechanics. On top of that, there are DLC clans. I am honestly not a fan of this business model, but putting that aside, they are interesting and unique. Clan of the Dragon sacrifices slaves to empower them. Clan of the Rat doesn't get disadvantages even if they're damaged and they feast by working more, sacrificing their health and well-being. Clan of the Kraken gets massive bonuses when near the shore but also gets debilitated when not. Though I wouldn't say they're the best bang for your buck. Maybe wait for a Steam sale and take the bundle if you feel like it is a good deal. Number 5. RoboQuest. RoboQuest is a fast-paced first-person shooter with rogue-like mechanics and elements. The game features procedurally generated levels, which means that each playthrough is unique. It has character progression in a form of a skill tree, and the game also has different classes to choose from. Your gameplay may differ depending on which class you play as. You can also equip skills to further enhance your gameplay, like equipping a third gun or a third jump. Yes, you can triple jump in this game. Tons of guns and multiple builds to choose from. There are a variety of bosses and each location has one before moving on to the next. The story isn't something to write home about, and honestly, it doesn't really matter too much. If they can improve the story and make it more worthwhile, then great. If not, it isn't so bad really. The cream of the crop is the gunplay. Equip your favorite gun, bow, bazooka, blasters, knives, or even fists. It is still in early access, but the devs have been adding more and more content. The most recent update added a new class, a new boss, and a ton of visual improvements. The price may seem a bit too expensive for your taste. You can wait for the next Steam sale if you are unsure, but it is well worth its price in my personal opinion. Number 4. Batman: Arkham Knight is an action-adventure video game released in 2015. It has been a couple years, but this game's visuals still holds out. You play as, well, Batman, and do Batman stuff. This is probably the most popular game in this list, and calling this underrated or a hidden gem is a very far stretch, but some players, including myself, may not be a fan of dark and grim storylines. Although, if you like action, open-world games, try it. Just try it. The combat system is fluid, dynamic, and action-packed. You have access to Batman's diverse array of gadgets and fighting skills, and you get to call and drive the Batmobile. That alone is a good reason to check this game out. There's not really much more to say here, so just enjoy the gameplay clips, and hopefully this will encourage you to play this awesome gem from the past.
Running diagnostics.
Thermal imaging shows the Arkham Knight's tanks are unmanned and controlled remotely. You're clear to engage.
Weapon systems online.
Be careful.
Number 3. Insurgency Sandstorm. Insurgency Sandstorm is a tactical first-person shooter video game released in 2018. The game builds upon the foundation of the original Insurgency mod and the subsequent standalone game, delivering an intense and realistic military combat experience. Set in modern-day conflicts, Insurgency Sandstorm places a strong emphasis on team-based gameplay, communication, and strategic coordination. Honestly, I never played the original Insurgency game. Some might say that Insurgency Sandstorm is your typical Counter-Strike clone, but it's more than that. Before starting a game, you can customize your loadout. The default loadouts are meh, but once you get the better and more exciting guns and attachments, it is quite fun. There is also a great modding community behind this game that is worth mentioning. ISMC2 mod came out, and boy, it's like Christmas. It is an ambitious and extensive overhaul of the base game that aims to enhance the gameplay experience by introducing a wide range of new features and content. The mod introduced new weapons, equipment, class customizations, visual enhancements, tweaks, and balancing that dialed the game to 11. It is worth checking out just for the mods alone. Number 2. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is quite old, but it was way ahead of its time. You assume the role of the Arisen, whose heart is bound to a powerful dragon. The game takes place in a vast open-world fantasy realm of Grancis. Every fantasy element is present here. Dragons? Check. Hideous creatures? Check. Magic? Check. Heck, you can even climb bosses and whack them in the head. What more can you ask for? The game also has a pretty robust job and level system. You can be a warrior swinging an oversized sword, or punish your enemies from afar using bows, or cast deadly spells, or anything in between. The game offers some form of freedom in building your character, and some are actually unique. I love the magic wielding, sword and board class called Mystic Knight, as it offers a very unique and satisfying gameplay experience. If you are a fan of fantasy, action RPG, this is a slam dunk. The highly anticipated sequel, Dragon's Dogma 2, is currently in development. Now is the perfect moment to dive into the game and explore the captivating realm of Grandies if you're new to it, or rediscover it for a nostalgic adventure. Number 1. Generation Zero. Generation Zero is a looter-shooter where players scavenge for resources, craft weapons, and engage in intense combat against a variety of enemy robots with unique abilities. As you progress, you uncover the game's narrative through environmental clues, collectibles, and some NPCs scattered throughout the world. The world is massive and there's lots of things to discover. Although I wouldn't say that the world is very dense, it suffers on one of the most common problem open-world games flaw: vast empty locations. Despite that, you have a motorbike that you can ride to explore, tons of bunkers to rummage, and places to conquer. One thing that I like in this game is that you can approach it however you want. What I really dig about Generation Zero is how you can play it your way. Sneak around like a ninja or go guns blazing like Rambo. It's up to you. Sure, the enemy AI could be smarter, but hey, it gets the job done, and that's what counts. All in all, Generation Zero is a big ol' robot blasting adventure with some exploration twists. If you're into open-world shooters and love blowing up robots, this game's gonna be your jam. As of this writing, the newest update just dropped and it adds companions. You can now bring a loyal robot dog on your adventures. Who's a good boy?
High-tech enhancements. This will come in handy when fighting in different conditions. The dynamic day-night cycle and weather systems will not only impact your senses, but also the enemies, making for constantly evolving battles. You are free to explore the world at any pace and direction. And if you look closely, the world will tell the story of what has happened. The pieces of the puzzle are there for you to discover and figure out. Just remember that some answers come harder than others.